Hey, happy day 836 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here at your service, talking about off your rocker. I actually really love the expression off your rocker because it reminds me of a couple of cool things. One, I've always been a rocker. I always have rocked ever since I was a baby. My parents tell the story of when I was like 5 months old. As soon as I could sit up, I was always awake at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And my parents and my sister didn't necessarily want to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So as soon as I could sit up, they figured out that instead of having to get up with me early and be exhausted, they could sit me in the middle of the living room floor, put pillows and things around, and I would sit and I would rock back and forth contentedly, just, making baby beingness until everybody else got up. So I've always been a rocker. I suppose it was a self-soothing, I don't know why I did it, but I've always done that. And I realized that in my current situation, I don't have a single rocking chair around me. I wondered why I liked the glider at the park with my granddaughter. We're not sitting on it now because of COVID, but because I don't have a rocker here, that's one of the reasons we were attracted to going to that place in the park where there's this rocker glider that we could swing on and oversee the entire city, which is beautiful, and the river. Off your rocker, of course, means crazy, silly, foolish, and is always, right, judged by other people. Do crazy people think they're crazy? No, right? They don't think they're crazy. And I think it's a really fun and interesting expression because it reminds us of a couple really important lessons in life. One, other people judge us based on their own beliefs and their own experiences and their own values and their own thoughts about themselves, not about us. So when people are giving us feedback, when we have haters, when we have fans even, when we have people that don't believe in us and doubt us and maybe even sometimes try to undermine us or stop us from doing things, a lot of times they do it out of love because they don't want us to get hurt, they don't want us to make a mistake. But we have to remember that they are arguing for what they fear they can't do, because nobody knows what we're capable of and what we can do. Nobody knows what you can do. Nobody knows what I can do except us. And sometimes we don't even realize it until we go out, take action, and try and move toward it. So I love this expression. I think every person that's ever done anything great or out of the norm or changed the world in any way, shape, or form has at some point been told that they're off their rocker. They're crazy, they're nuts, they're stupid, they're foolish, it's never going to work, you can't do that. And most people get shut down by that. Most people don't ever go after their dreams and their goals because so many people tell them it's not possible. And we just need to remember that it might not be possible for the person that's telling us it's not possible, but if we came up with the idea, if we thought of it, if we believed in it, if we even had the inkling of it, that means that it's possible for us to steward that into being. And so it's really our responsibility to steward that into being. So I say, when you get that inkling, when you get an idea, take action toward it, move toward it, and find out if it's viable for you or not, or how you can make it viable. I say you take action, you adjust, you figure it out. You take action, you adjust, you figure it out until you get to that thing, until you do make it a possibility, a feasibility, and you prove to the world that anything is possible, because it absolutely positively is. Me just sitting here and being here is a miracle, because I had a sudden cardiac arrest like 9 years ago now and actually died. And so the fact that I am sitting here totally proves to me that absolutely anything is possible, because if you ask the doctors and the experts and everybody on the planet that was involved in the situation, they would say, yep, there's no reason that Sharon should be sitting here and waking up when, almost everybody that has this experience doesn't make it through. So today is day 2 of the Get Up and Go Challenge, doing a 5-day Get Up and Go Challenge. Did a 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge in the month of April, which was very cool. Lots of great information. Too much information, right? For the mass majority of people, 30 days is too much of a commitment, which makes me sad, because 30 days being too much of a commitment to yourself, not thinking that you're worth a 30-day investment of like 10, 20 minutes a day, that to me is really scary. But been there, done that, right? If somebody would have told me or asked me to do a 30-day challenge a couple of years or a couple of decades ago now, I would have probably said no, because I was busy, right? I was too busy running through my life, running businesses, raising my kids, you know, being involved in the community, doing all kinds of stuff, and just keeping busy, running, like a chicken with my head cut off. And I would have said no. I would have said, I don't have time, and I proved I didn't have time to, even 10 years ago, to invest in my health, to take care of myself, to take care of, I came last, right? When it came on the priority list of what got done and where my time got divvied up, I came last. And as challenging as COVID-19 is for all of us, because everyone on the planet's been impacted by this virus, and all of the changes that have come along with this virus, I feel like it's this huge wake-up call for the world, for the planet, for all of us to take stock in what are our priorities, what have we been focusing on, what is really important to us. I mean, just like I had to do that with my health, because for like 2 decades, I put myself and my health and my well-being last. My physical health, for sure, my mental health, pretty much, my emotional health, for sure, and my spiritual health, all of those came last in terms of my priorities of what I took care of and how I spent my time. And since time is our most valuable resource, that was really a big mistake, and I didn't know it until I got that massive, major health wake-up call and shake. I kind of feel like our whole planet is having a similar experience right now. We're getting that health wake-up call, and we're having to ask ourselves, what really are our priorities? Is it really important that I do nothing but work, chase the almighty dollar, and go after my financial dreams at the expense of everything else, at the expense of my relationships, at the expense of, because, you know, if you're spending all your time working, which I was, you're not spending time on the relationships and the people that matter the most to you. My children suffered, my marriage suffered, everything. And of course, we don't realize those things until after the fact, right? And when we're looking back on them. And frankly, on your deathbed is not the time to realize that your priorities were messed up. Now is this huge opportunity for all of us to say, what is important to me? What are my most important priorities? And really, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When you die, you don't care one bit about how much money's in your bank account. You don't care how many businesses you're running. You don't care how many cars you have, what your house is like, or any of it. None of it matters. When you die, the only thing that matters is the experiences that you had and the lessons that you learned and the relationships that you had with people, which impact the experiences that you've had, right? All the rest of it doesn't mean squat. I wanted to say, but I won't. It doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely zero. We come into this life with nothing. We leave this life with nothing. You know, the ancient Chinese rulers that buried, you know, terracotta soldiers with them, and that the gods or the people and the rulers from the past that buried treasure with them, they had it wrong. It's just rotting in the earth, right? That's why people like to go dig up treasures and things, because they know it's still there, because it didn't go with the person, right? Tale for another day. So, Get Up and Go Challenge Day 2 today. I'm really excited. I finally shrunk down my process. It's not my process. It's a process I've learned over decades of how to deal with challenges and situations, you know, obstacles, challenges, problems, roadblocks, things that stop people in their tracks, kind of like the COVID virus, and freeze us. They cause us to freeze because we don't think we know what to do. Now, you'll notice I said because we don't think we know what to do. Guess what? Secret. Another secret today. Today's full of secrets. We always know what to do. We always know what to do, but sometimes our conscious and our subconscious tries to prevent us from actually believing that we know what to do and then acting upon that, because it wants to keep us safe. Anyway, so I've narrowed it down to 4 things, 4 steps called SOAP, which I'll explain today. I won't explain all of it. I'm going to do it over the next 4 days. SOAP is the process, and I've narrowed it down to the foundational things so that anybody can remember it going forward. Soap. We all use soap, right? We especially use a lot of soap now. So I think that it's really, it was interesting how I used my process of coming up with soap, because I took each of the 4 steps that are critical, and we do them anyway, but a lot of times we do them without thinking. And if we don't do one of them, then we don't get the result that we really want in our life. But if we do it, if we automatically do it, and if we make it automatic in our lives, our life automatically flows forward, and we move forward and we make progress, which is what we all want anyway. So I'm actually excited about it. I wasn't super excited when I was trying to come up with it, but I'm like, there's got to be a way that I can simplify this and make it easy to remember, because I've been doing it and I've been remembering it, and I've been remembering like a 10-step process and doing that automatically. But as I've done that throughout my life, how have I simplified that? Because this isn't the first crisis that I've personally been in, right? It's the first crisis that I'm actually secretly a little excited to be a part of, because there's millions and millions of people going through it with me. I don't feel like I'm all by myself for the first time in a long time, right? Because whenever we're facing challenges, the biggest challenge, the biggest part of the challenge that makes it hard for many of us is we feel like we're all alone. We feel like we're the only one going through it. But I've been through lots of challenges and lots of crises in my life, like thousands and thousands and thousands, and probably tens of thousands of them. But at least 5, if not 10, major things that would have shut people down, and they would have just quit and given up. You know, in my 20s, I was bedridden for years with chronic pain and chronic illness. In my and then, you know, I had the sudden cardiac arrest, and I've had business challenges, and I've had relationship challenges. I'm divorced. I've had things that happen to my family members. You know, I've had people I love and care about pass away. There's been cancers and disease and trauma and accidents in my life personally, as well as in my immediate family. And all of those things impact and affect us. And a lot of those things could have stopped me in my tracks, and probably, in a lot of people's opinions, including my family, should have stopped me in my tracks. Yet here I am, moving forward and continuing to move forward, because I figure, what's the alternative, right? We either keep moving forward or we stop, and then when we stop, we start to disintegrate, deteriorate, and we die. Well, I'm not done yet, right? I am definitely not done yet, and neither are you, so don't stop. Even if we're moving super duper slowly, infinitesimally slowly, as long as we're moving, we're growing. As long as we're growing, we're progressing. And as long as we're progressing and experiencing our life, we're moving in the direction that we want to go. You know, even the bad experiences, and it's hard to look back and admit, but the things that didn't kill me actually were the best experiences of my life, because they were the things that showed me that I could have control. I could take responsibility. I could exercise my personal power and make choices that were right for me, and the world didn't end, right? I could get divorced and the world didn't end. I actually believed, up until the time I got divorced, that was probably the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Why? Well, some of my own beliefs, and our beliefs are all our own, right? I adopted a lot of beliefs over the years and decades based on my life and my experiences, that you get married once, you have a marriage, no matter what, you figure it out, you work it out, and then, you know, that's how you live your life. And I realized that there are things that you don't have to put up with. You don't have to forgive people for, and you can move on, and it's not the end of the world. I've had businesses fail, and I realized that a business failure or a financial challenge was not the end of my life. I actually realized that having a sudden cardiac arrest and dropping dead for a while actually couldn't kill me. It did, well, it could kill me, but it didn't kill me. I realized that, you know, being in car accidents can hurt you and cause you massive amounts of pain, but you can still choose to live your life and move forward in that. You know, having chronic illnesses, having illnesses and disease can come into your life, but you don't have to let it stop you, no matter what the doctors and the experts say. So all of that culminated in, you know, my current situation. Like, all of our experiences culminate in our current situation and the way we respond to whatever's happening outside of us and around us. Because you can't control what happens outside of us and around us, right? None of us can control the coronavirus and the impact that different things are having on our life. Things can impact our life, but they can't steal our life from us or control us unless we let them, right? You know, I think Eleanor Roosevelt, and I'm sure other people, wise people, have said, nobody can make you feel a certain way, and I don't remember exactly what it said, of what she said, but nobody can make you feel a certain way without your permission. Nobody can make you feel bad about yourself unless you let them. Nobody can make you feel like a victim unless you let them and choose to be a victim and choose to feel like you have no control. But we always, each and every one of us, you as well as me, have control over what we're going to focus on, what we're going to think about, what we're going to choose to believe, how we're going to decide what that means for us. You know what? I've been bullied. I've been treated rotten. I've been abused and pummeled, and I could be a victim, or I can say, this is going to make me stronger, and I wish it wouldn't have happened. I never want anything bad to happen to me or anybody else, right? But it does, but I'm not going to let it stop me from going where I want to go. I'm going to use it to fuel me, to light a fire in my belly. I hate the word belly. To light a fire inside of me that moves me forward and propels me forward. I use it like a rocket fuel, right? Instead of letting it stop me. So, I love it when people tell me I'm off my rocker, or I'm crazy, or I can't do something. I actually like it when people tell me I can't do something, because that's all I need to hear to be like, okay, then I won't say a word. I'll just like shake my head and smile, and then I'll go out and do it, and I'll prove them absolutely positively wrong. I am facing a new challenge, and I talk about it rarely, but sometimes. I am legally blind. I really can't see squat, right, for the most part. Yet, I'm still finding ways to figure out how to show up on video, how to move forward, how to do the things that I want to do. And you know what? Am I starting to have to get help with certain things that most people just take for granted? Yeah. But guess what? I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm just not, right? I'm still going to go after what I want, and I encourage you to do the same. So today, Get Up and Go Challenge Day 2, fun challenge, 365-day fun challenge. Do one fun thing every day was day 126 today. I have to look. I long since, once I started doing longer challenges and things and doing daily content, I had to have a notebook where I write down what each day's thing is. If I was just doing one video a day, I'm sure I could keep track, but I'm not. I'm doing the fun challenge every day. I'm doing a Facebook Live video every day. I'm just, and to be honest, the fun challenge is to wake my voice up, because I don't know about you, but I sound like Gravel Gertie in the morning, which is not a good sound. And our voice is our voice. There's not a whole lot we can do about it, but I don't want to sound like Gravel Gertie. So I do the fun challenge to wake my voice up, and then I do the Facebook Live to practice my Supersize Your Business one before I go in front of my business people and talk about the topic that we're talking about for the day. So there's at least 3 to 5 videos, sometimes 6 I do every morning and every day to share content. So I need to keep track of them in a notebook. That's one of the little behind the scenes secrets of how I do things and how we actually get things done. And I have learned to keep things really, really simple. And for someone that likes to overcomplicate everything in my life, that has been a great learning lesson. Just like doing SOAP instead of a 10-step process of how we handle challenges and objectives. People can remember, and people will remember SOAP, and they will use it for the rest of their life. Kind of like I learned plan, do, check, act in college. I still, when I face a situation, if it's a complicated problem, will break it down to plan, do, check, act. And I've learned dozens of complicated problem-solving, decision-making strategies and theories, and I've studied, hundreds and hundreds of different things. Yet, when it comes down to it, I will go back to plan, do, check, act. Why? Because I can remember it, and I used it repeatedly in college and in my work life in corporate America to break complicated things down and simplify them so that everybody could get involved in the decision-making and problem-solving process, right? So that's why I'm excited that I finally simplified it down to SOAP. SOAP is easy, and SOAP is so appropriate given the coronavirus, and we all need to do sanitizing, washing our hands, and cleaning up our acts. That's it. That's all I've got today. Go out, have an absolutely amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Get Up and Go Challenge, 11 a.m. today live. I actually did a watch party last night at 8. I think I might try to do that this week, but I'm not going to commit 100% to it in case something happens and I fall asleep on the couch because I'm tired from hanging out with my 4-year-old granddaughter all day or whatever. But going forward, that's what I'll do in my challenges. There'll be a daytime one live, and then we'll do a watch party in the evening, and yeah, that's it. Have a great day. If I can help you in any way, just ask in the comments below. That's what I'm here for. I love helping people. As I get busier and busier and busier, I will continue to do that to the best of my ability. But like I tell everybody, ask. If you want help, ask. I might not be able to be the one to help you, but I can hook you up with somebody that can. Take care, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.